Okay, Shannon Brealey, candidate number 2144, Aquinas College, A2 E&A. Right, Shannon, so you've watched the clip. We'd like you to talk about the strengths and weaknesses that you see in, prioritise the major weakness, and then put together an action plan for that weakness, and don't forget to bring in all the theory areas. Okay, good luck.
Bathing and swimming dated right back to the 1200s to 1500s during popular recreation, where towns were built around rivers as a defence or crossing point. Swimming was classed as a necessity because it was for safety, as people used to swim in the river in the hot summer months as a pastime. Charles II then built the first open-air swimming pool in 1784, and he started to produce many competitions in the River Thames as contests for the masters and anyone that wants to join in. This was when competitive swimming really started. During the 19th century public schools, stage one was a time of bullying and brutality, where it was full of boy culture and it was by the boys for the boys. Stage two was hygiene and safety, and Dr. Thomas Arnold brought in social facilitation and muscular Christianity. And then stage three was a time of athleticism, where technical development started to improve and purpose-built facilities were built. During rational recreation in 1824, the first public swimming bath was built, and this was because of the outbreak of cholera, and the government wanted to improve hygiene. So the swimmer in the video that I've watched, I think she's at the participation stage on the participation pyramid, as this is as she's swimming for leisure and personal enjoyment. She's swimming for physical recreation and personal satisfaction. The pyramid starts at foundation, which is grassroots swimmers, swimmers learning in PE, and starting off to learn how to swim, and then it moves on to participation, which would be either swimming leisurely or swimming in after-school clubs just starting off. And then stage three would be the performance stage, and that would be anywhere from counties to regionals, and this would develop from there to the elite stage, which is anything from the Olympics to Commonwealth Games to Worlds, and national championships and international championships. The strengths that I've found for the swimmer would be that she breathes consistently every two, and this means that she's getting enough air in to hold a breath for each stroke. She'll be able to carry on as much as she can, and then her flexibility is good, and this means that she can get a vast range of movement from shoulder joints. Flexibility is a gross motor ability, as well as speed, stamina, strength and endurance. Abilities are innate, stable and enduring, and can underpin skills. Her kick is very good and strong and fluent. She doesn't stop, and she continually kicks even though it does get a bit slower throughout. Swimming is classed as a simple skill on the complexity continuum because it has lots of discrete, minute movements throughout. It is also classed as low on the organisational continuum, as it's made up of a range of discrete subroutines that can be broken up and put that back together. Another strength would be that her fingers are together. This means that she gets the pull and she's able to swim with maximum efficiency with minimal effort. She doesn't lose any of the water or slip it. I've found that one of her weaknesses would be that she looks forward instead of looking down or at an angle, and this can cause many shoulder injuries in the rotator cuff or could cause tendinitis. The shoulder is a ball and socket joint, which is made up which has conjoining bones of the clavicle, humerus and scapula. The shoulder is made up of the muscle, the rotator cuff, and in the rotator cuff there are also 4 muscles in the rotator cuff. This is the subscapularis, supraspinatus, infraspinatus and teres minor. The shoulder also joins onto the tricep brachii and bicep brachii, and this helps to get the pull through the water. To correct the shoulder injuries, she'll need to look down at the bottom of the pool, and this will also help her bring her elbows high and pull right to the bottom of the pool and then straight back out. I also see that she has an issue with stamina and pacing, and this can be important in a race because you don't want to burn out right at the end of the race when somebody can take the win. She also has trouble with her stamina. She can't move her arms as much as she could at the beginning towards the end of the 25. The predominant energy system in this 25 would be the lactic acid system, which is located in the muscle sarcoplasm. The lactic acid system can produce enough energy to last from 10 seconds to 180 seconds, and this is the predominant energy system used as she swims a 25 in 30 seconds. The energy system produces 2 ATPs, and also the lactic acid system produces a fatiguing byproduct of lactic acid. Another weakness would be that she crosses the centre line each time she takes a stroke. This means that from the alignment down the body, one of her arms, when she breathes, crosses right to the other side, and this means that she just slips all the water, doesn't pull anything, and is wasting a lot of effort by doing that. A kick is also, although it's fluent and she bends her knees, which also uses up a lot of energy, and this is a problem because she doesn't kick from her hips, she kicks from her knees instead, and to combat that she needs to kick from her hips, try and keep her legs straight with minimal knee bending, and keep her ankles flexed. The main weakness that I've found for this summer would be the pull and how she crosses the centre line, and to combat this I will devise a 6-week training programme. This programme will be part of periodisation, as a 6-week programme is a mesocycle. For this summer, the goal at the end is to gain a faster time in the test, but for an elite summer it may be a large competition or inter-town gala that they wanted to do. At the start of At the start and end of each session, I'll do an appropriate warm-up and cool-down, and a warm-up is good for the swimmer because it can increase performance during the training session, and it also increases the level of intensity that you can train at. It decreases obla, which is the onset of blood lactate accumulation, and a good warm-up should last between 5 and 40 minutes, starting with a pulse raiser, then a skills and drills section, and then stretching at the end. A good cool-down would be to decrease to get rid of all the lactic acid, and decrease the onset of muscle soreness, which is DOMS. And I would start off with using verbal and visual guidance to allow the swimmer to see demonstrations that I will do, and this will create a mental picture in the swimmer's head of what she has to do, and verbal guidance will help the swimmer know what exactly she has to do. Then towards the end of the session, when she becomes more confident in the water, I will use manual and mechanical guidance to ensure that she's more confident in the water. Manual guidance will use a lot of manipulation of the swimmer's body to show her the kinetic feel and activate muscle memory, and the mechanical guidance will be used to again increase confidence in the water by using different equipment needed. So week 1 would be to strip back the stroke completely, and start off with an appropriate warm-up. Then the main session would be 625s as kick on the side with fins, and this is to ensure that she doesn't bend her knees and kicks from the hips, and then I would get her to do 625s as kick with a board to again simulate the kick without bending the knees, but on the front instead of on the side, which is easier. That would be for one session a week, and then throughout the weeks I will increase the sessions to 2 a week towards the beginning, to progress the program. Week 2 I would start off on land. Again, this is for one session, and I would get the swimmer to start off with a TheraBand in the hand, and this will again activate muscle memory for the swimmer, because she will simulate the freestyle stroke with the TheraBand on land, and then she can use that when she gets in the water. I would do 10 reps and then a minute rest, and then 10 reps again. If she feels confident, we'd then go on to cable pull downs at a minimal weight, because we're looking at muscle endurance instead of strength at the moment, and again do 10 reps, a minute rest, and then 10 reps again. And then in the water, this session would be all about pull, so I'd do 8 25s off a minute with a pull buoy and paddles, trying to simulate what she just did with the TheraBand in the pool. So keeping her elbows high, not crossing the centre line, and keeping her hips high. And then after that I'd get her to use a snorkel and fins again. We'll take the pull buoy out and try doing North swim. So do 8.25s again, as she's an amateur swimmer, and these will be off 55. And then week 3, I would do a combination of the first 2 weeks, which is full swim now, and I'd increase the amount of sessions to 2 a week, and for the first session I would start off in the pool, do an appropriate warm up, and then do 2 50s off 2 minutes, so a lot of rest, and then 2 25s off a minute, and do that 2 times. And she can put bits of speed there, anywhere from 15 metres to 30 metres if she wants. And then after that, I'll get her to use fins and paddles, and try and work at a threshold rate for 4.25s, trying to see if she can make 40 seconds. The week 4, I would get the swimmer to again start off with some TheraBand work, just to introduce everything back and provoke a memory again. Then in the pool, I would try and do a higher intensity week than the last weeks. So this would be for 2 times a week again, but we'd be doing all 50s instead of 25s. So we'd do 4 50s freestyle, which is the stroke that she wants to improve, and they would be off 1:15, so quite fast turnarounds. And then I'd do 2 50s off 2 minutes, and then I'd do that twice through. And she needs to remember to keep everything that she did in week 1 and 2, so the kick and the pull. She needs to try and swim with everything together, holding technique. And then week 5, I would introduce some speed, but I'd go back to 1 session because the test will be on week 6. So she will do 1 session a week, and that will be 8.25s, working at 10 metres speed off each wall, and they would be off 1:30 because she needs a lot of rest for speed. And then I'd do 1:50 off 3 minutes, again increasing the rest, and I'd do that twice through. And then week 6 would just be for 1 session again, and this would be race warm up at the beginning of the session, and this would help get her ready for the test, which is a 25 metre max. We'll do 2 of them and then take the best time, and she also would have done that at the beginning of the week 1 as well. And then a time will be recorded, and then she'd try and see if she can improve a time at the end of the week, which is a goal. So then after the 25, hopefully she has improved, and then she will do an appropriate cool down. And then swimming has become more popular since the London 2012 Games, because of swimmers like Rebecca Adlington, Nellie Simmons, who excelled. I've noticed that Paralympic swimming has become more common, as people have seen the Paralympians at the London 2012 Games and realised that they can get involved too. Disability equipment and accessibility has also improved. And that's it.